This is Fred Jeff Smith, pastor of Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church, with a series of announcements and messages primarily for our Shiloh family, but it may prove to be helpful to others who may view this post. Things, as you might imagine, are fluid at this time surrounding the COVID-19 crisis that has struck our community, our nation, and indeed the world. And certainly I recognize that others who sit in seats of authority and power in national and state and local government have their responsibilities to the community that they serve. As pastor of Shiloh, I have a responsibility to this church family to let you know where we are and what we are doing in response to this coronavirus. And I wanted to take the opportunity to do that through this video today. As I am talking with you, it is Thursday afternoon, a little bit after 1 o'clock p.m. So things may change within the next day or so from what I am about to say. We shared in a teleconference with Governor John Bel Edwards of the state of Louisiana on yesterday, and he has asked for the help of pastors across this state in adhering to the rule regarding limiting gatherings to 50 people. This includes worship experiences, funerals, weddings, Bible studies. He has asked for us to do the best that we can to limit the access of people to these services to 50. And so we're going to do what we can to assist the governor in that regard. That does not mean that we are canceling our activities, but it does mean that we're going to curtail them and we're going to modify them as best we can. With regard to Sunday worship experiences, we are going to continue to have worship on this coming Sunday at 8 and 11, but we're modifying the order of worship in the hope that it will limit the number of people who are here. Please, if you are ill, if you are elderly, if you are in that vulnerable age group that they are talking about, 60 and above, we encourage you to refrain from coming to worship. We appreciate the fact that you want to be here, that your heart is to be here, but we would ask that you would view our worship experience on live stream. We're going to live stream Sunday worship at 8 and 11, and we would encourage you to use live stream instead of coming to worship live here on Sunday. We have a funeral here on Saturday. Deacon William White, a veteran member of our church family, passed, and his funeral is here on Saturday at 1 o'clock p.m. Again, adhering to the rule of 50. We are extending the viewing hours from 9 o'clock a.m. until 1 o'clock p.m. That gives you 4 hours to come in and view the remains. But please, if you're not directly involved with the worship, if you're not on program, we encourage you to view the funeral services via live stream rather than remain here in our church. We're live streaming the funeral as well, and we wanted you to be aware of that. In this Lenten season, Shiloh has a number of activities that we normally engage in, including our revival, our Road to Renewal services, our Easter drama, and things of that sort. All of those things are being canceled. Again, trying to adhere to this rule of 50 and trying to be as responsible as we can to the situation that has confronted us. So we're not going to have our spring revival. We're not going to have our midday Road to Renewal services. We do intend to have worship on Resurrection Sunday morning. We typically have one worship where we ask for our family to come together in Mass. Well, we may adjust that and have more than one worship to try to accommodate as many people as possible. But whatever worship experience we have, again, it will be live streamed. I guess you've heard me say that a lot. We're trying to push everyone to go to live stream in order to stay abreast of the things that are going on here at Shiloh, to be a part of our worship experiences and Bible studies. I'm very pleased with the response that we have gotten thus far. We had well over 1,000 views of our Sunday worship experiences. We had well over 200 views of our Bible studies this past week, which lets me know that you are responding to our request, and we are very grateful for that. We ask that you would continue to do that as we go forward. It is intrusive to our normal way of doing things, that we cannot gather and share with one another in our normal way, but the fact that we can't gather that way doesn't mean that we can't share at all. So we encourage you to continue to use the live stream opportunities that we are providing for you. And we're going to continue to do that for as long as we can into the foreseeable future. With regard to our Early Learning Center, the Early Learning Center is still open and still in operation. We're still receiving our children, and we're making accommodations to receive children that are currently out of school but in need of adult supervision so that their parents and grandparents and guardians can work. We'll be sharing more with you about that in the coming days, but we hope that by Monday, March 23rd, we will be in a position to receive children that are not Early Learning Center age, but are children who are out of school because of the coronavirus and in need of adult supervision. You can call us here at the church at 225-343-0640 to get more information about that. In order to maintain a spirit of fellowship and love, and out of an abundance of concern for one another, we're going to expand the use of our prayer line. Shiloh has a designated prayer line that we operate 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 o'clock a.m. Reverend Emmanuel Smith, our Minister of Community Services, handles that. Well, starting on Friday, tomorrow, March 20th, we're going to add a second prayer line opportunity at 6 o'clock in the evening. We're going to continue to do that Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock in the evening. The number where you can reach us is 302-202-1106, 302-202-1106, and the conference code is 517566. You'll see it on the graphic on the screen, and you'll have the opportunity to write it down. We want you, and you can share that number with others, we want to have as many as possible, as many as feel the need, to come together through the telephone conference line and share in prayer. Certainly as Christians, we know that there is power in prayer, and we want you to be a part of that prayer line experience. These are trying and difficult times for all of us, and we are not trying to minimize the impact that this is having on our lives. I would only want to urge you to remember that our faith says that we trust in God in any and all situations. The Word tells us that we walk by faith and not by sight. Much of what we see and hear right now is dour, it's negative, it's difficult to comprehend. In fact, it's actually fatiguing. You get tired of hearing about it and you want to turn it off. I understand that feeling. I share that feeling. But I want you to know that our God is able to sustain us at this hour. I want you to be encouraged by the fact that our God is in charge even of this situation, and that if we would just keep our hand in His hand, He will bring us through. That is not to suggest that things won't get difficult. That is not to suggest that we won't have some hard times, not just physically, but economically. All of us are going to have to band together, and we're going to have to do what we can to help one another. But I do believe, I have every confidence that the God that I serve is able to carry us through. Stay strong. We'll be talking back with you soon.